Everybody knows that Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, The Rock, and Roman Reigns has been a huge aspect on the wrestling world over the last week due to a press conference, due to an altercation with a slap by The Rock, with The Rock showing up to basically challenge Roman Reigns. But the question is, everyone's still wanting to know who is going to be going after Seth. Seth wanted Cody to take the title basically at WrestleMania, and I think that would have been a great route if Cody didn't want to finish his story. But Seth Rollins, the fighting champion, the working champion as he says, has had a bump in the road. We all know his back injury, his knee injury now. So with that being said, we are going to go through and basically just give you a rank of all of Seth Rollins' title defenses, whether it be PLE or main events on Monday Night Raw, through the year 2023 up until where we're at, as he has been our fighting champion. As always, remember to hit that subscribe button, become part of the wrestling community here as we continue to evolve the wrestling community every single day. So, with that being started, we're going to start off with the tier rankings that we have for this. So you have Hall of Fame, you have a bangers, you got mid matches, and then you got absolute bottom of the barrel dog water style matches. Now, with that being said, there's actually not many people who would probably say Seth Rollins has had a bad match or had a low caliber match, but you will be surprised to see where we rank each one of these matches. So, without further ado, let's hop right into the 11 aired premium live event or Monday Night Raw or NXT, because there was one, defenses. This is not counting house shows, because if we counted house shows, there'd be 45 total title defenses. There are actually 11, like we said, was aired to the public. So, with that being said, you have to start this list off with what I think was a great story, a great build-up, and that is Payback. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, September 2nd, 2023. This match built up on the aspect of Seth Rollins was hurt and Shinsuke was going to make it aware. He called him out on Monday Night Raw regarding it due to his back that he had been keeping hidden from the public, and he just wanted to execute the aspect of taking a weakness and exploiting it to become champion. Now, there were several attacks that Shinsuke did throughout the weeks leading up to Payback. Seth Rollins came out and admitted that he does have a back injury. Is the back injury slowing him down? Absolutely not. He's fought 45 consecutive matches. He is the first in wrestling when it comes to having matches on the Monday night show, NXT, PLEs, house shows. So the man is a working champion. But with that being said, throughout the match, Shinsuke, of course, did go after the back. He had a lot of the momentum throughout this match. But, of course, Seth Rollins did come out victorious. He did hit the good old-fashioned curb stomp to win it. We're going to list this one as a banger for us, just because the Hall of Fame style matches would be for one of those that is like a closeout to a story that's been building and building and building. So, next up, you do have Fastlane, which was Shinsuke Nakamura's last attempt at the World Heavyweight Championship. It was in a last man standing match against Seth Rollins. And this one, of course, was a little more of a beatdown by Shinsuke Nakamura. He heavily focused on that back. Throughout the weeks leading up to it, he would attack Seth, and then Seth would actually attack him to, show that he is not worried about the back situation. He's not going to let it affect him going into this match. And all in all, this match, you know, we feel as this one was a great ending to this rivalry. We haven't seen Shinsuke attack Seth since. We have not seen him try to get an advantage over Seth Rollins. So, and that's what you would want in a final story. Two people going head to head. But again, Shinsuke Nakamura, he targeted the back. He actually used nunchucks. He used kendo sticks. He used chairs. He threw Seth through the announce table. I mean, he even hit the red mist off the top of a ladder, which put Seth Rollins through the table. I mean, there's a lot that happened in this match, and it was a great ending to that story. So with that being said, the final battle between Shinsuke and Seth Rollins, we declare that one to be a Hall of Fame caliber. Now, will we see this later on down the road? More than likely, because Shinsuke is still fighting for a title shot. He's not giving up. He may go after Cody once, and if he can finish his story on SmackDown, we don't know. But we hope that happens just to give Shinsuke another run. So with that being said, we're going to jump over to the Drew McIntyre feud between Seth Rollins and himself. The first match that we had encountered between them two was actually a one-on-one in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel November 4th, 2023. This was actually, in my opinion, one of the best matches that Crown Jewel had to offer this past year for the World Heavyweight Championship title defense. The match build-up for these two was going off the simple fact that Drew had taken out almost everybody on the Raw brand per se because of the fact that he felt as if he was being overlooked. He felt as if he didn't get to finish a story that he wanted due to the bloodline. So he wanted to go after the next best thing, Seth Rollins, and try to get him a title, give him another run. Now, this was a respected match between the two. There was no really issues. Seth was open to it. I do believe, if I remember correctly, this was an open challenge style match that came about between these two. It was a great contest as well. You've seen the Swanton from Seth. You've seen the Glasgow Kiss headbutt from Drew McIntyre. You've seen the Claymore. You've seen the Pedigree. I mean, the Falcon's Arrow. And to end it all, you got to see the Curb Stomp, which put Drew McIntyre away at Crown Jewel. And truly, we give this one a banger style grade. First match between these two, very good, very back and forth. There was a very close decision. Both respected wrestlers kicked out of each other's finishers, which always gives that seat-thrilling, edge-of-your-seat type of match. So with that being said, we will rate that at the banger level. Now, of course, coming back to Drew McIntyre, he got another shot at day one, and this was a big build-up because he had went through Jey Uso yet again. He had taken out Sami Zayn at this point. So Drew McIntyre was on a revenge tour. He was ready to annihilate everybody that came in his way. And, I mean, Drew was still using the storyline. He didn't get to finish what he wanted. And we all know he's still stuck on the bloodline situation and trying to take it out on everyone on the Red Show, Monday Night Raw, due to Jey Uso. Throughout this match, we did get to see a pedigree on the announce table, which actually helped Seth Rollins almost get the win. We got to see a huge frog splash from Seth Rollins. We did see a Claymore from Drew McIntyre as well. And Drew McIntyre throughout this match was extremely close to winning. Ultimately, the Judgment Day drew the issue in the match due to the fact that Damian Priest attempted to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase with Dominic Mysterio and ended up catching a Claymore. And when Drew finally got back into the ring after giving Damian a Claymore and Dominic Mysterio, he got caught with a curb stomp. Now, the curb stomp we know is what Seth Rollins ends all his matches with. And my goodness, it was another closeout victory. And for day one, this being a title defense on a Monday show, I'm actually going to give this one a mid. I don't feel as it lived up to the expectation that you would have seen from a Drew McIntyre style match. Seth, of course, was still dealing with the back issues, but he done great for being someone who's working while injured. Drew McIntyre, on the other hand, like I said, it was more or less a mid-style match for him, so the match was mid. Following that, you did have a quick one-on-one Monday Night Raw main event in December from main event Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. Now, this was coming off the end of what I do believe to be one of the best War Games we had seen. And he basically told Jey that he deserved it and that he was going to give him a title shot. Now, these two went back and forth the whole match. There was no outside interference. There was no, this could have went another way if there was. Because Jey Uso is now Jey Uso. He is himself. He is not with the bloodline. And, of course, throughout the match, Jey did get the yeet chants rolling. He did get the super kicks hit. He hit the Samoan drop. He even got the Uso splash in. But Seth Rollins was relentless and kicked out, which ultimately led to Jey Uso receiving a stomp. This match was a high caliber match for Monday Night Raw style main event, and truly, in our opinion, we're going to give this the good old fashioned Hall of Fame Jey Uso Seth Rollins caliber match. Now, leading in to giving out title shots, Braun Breaker from the NXT brand decided that he was going to challenge Seth Rollins at NXT Gold Rush June 20th, being as if Seth Rollins won the title back in May. This was a fresh title defense. There was a little bit of ribs issues going on with Seth just due to his match with AJ that he had. So it's not like it was a big issue. And previously, before that, he also had to go up against Damian. But for this to be a Performance Center NXT Gold Rush style match, Braun Breaker knew that he could step to the big leagues because he's had that caliber. Seth Rollins knew that he could give Braun the match he deserved due to the fact that Seth Rollins is a competitor. So, on NXT Gold Rush, Seth Rollins went and defended against Braun Breaker. There was pedigrees, there was spears, there was all grades of Braun Breaker, just dominance throughout the match. But in the end, Braun Breaker had his biggest match of his career against Seth Rollins. And at Gold Rush NXT, we've seen the birth of a new banger and a Seth Rollins defense of his World Heavyweight Championship. Jumping ahead to the Judgment Day feud with Seth Rollins, you want to look at June 5th, Monday Night Raw. From Hartford, Connecticut, Damian Priest going up against Seth Rollins. Now, there had been a lot going on with the Judgment Day and Seth due to the fact that Finn was going up against Seth Rollins. Damian was trying to beat him without having to cash in for the title. So there was great matches from all aspects of the Judgment Day and Seth Rollins. The fantastic back and forth match here between him and Damian Priest was almost top tier of what we would see from Judgment Day action. Priest got hit with the buckle bomb to the barricade. After the buckle bomb was done to Damian, Finn decided that he was going to put his emotions out there and actually come out to try to help Damian, and actually got hit with a super kick. It gave Damian Priest the time to hit a South of Heavens, which Rollins would initially kick out of. And then, of course, you would see the issue between Damian and Finn. They would argue outside, and Rollins would counter the Razor's Edge after the fact, which Rollins turned into a huge stomp, ending in a 1, 2, 3 for Seth Rollins to retain on Monday Night Raw against Damian Priest. We're going to give this one a mid-style caliber on the simple fact that it was not the best match for Damian Priest. It wasn't the best match for Seth Rollins. I think there was too much going on outside work to really have a true say that Damian Priest would have not won. If it wasn't for that, yet again, he probably would have fell short even without Finn Balor. So there's a lot going on, and that's why we give it a mid ranking. The last title defense that we have seen from Seth Rollins was the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. This match took place back on January 15th on an episode of Monday Night Raw. And unfortunately, as we all do know, this is where Seth Rollins would actually injure his knee and have to not be sidelined, because we do see him every week, but more or less have to not compete due to the fact. Now, this match, the week prior, Seth Rollins came out and said that he was ready to fight. He's a fighting champion, and it's open to anyone in the back. And Jinder Mahal answered the call. It was very surprising. Even though we had seen Jinder the week before, he was interrupted by The Rock, and we know what happened there. The Rock laid the smack down and gave him the people's elbow. Either way, this match ended up being subpar, and it was very slow paced. And I think that had a lot to do with the fact that this is where the knee did get injured. And of course, yet again, we've seen Damian Priest attempt a cash in. This would have been the ultimate time for him to cash in, just due to the fact that Seth's back and now his knee. But this was interrupted yet again by good old Drew McIntyre. He has a running feud with the Judgment Day and Damian Priest due to they were the ones that cost him the title. So he ensured that Seth would win and it would be clean, and he would be the one to dethrone Seth Rollins. Now, he did hit the springboard moonsault, and that's where the knee got tweaked at. So, We still are waiting to see when he's going to be cleared. Of course, he will be cleared towards WrestleMania. Mahal ended up executing the Colossus, making us look back to 2017 when he upset, Randy Orton. It did not happen. Seth Rollins was able to recuperate and get back on the winning aspect, even now with an injured knee. So for this one, we are actually going to give this match a mid as well. Not because it did not end the way we wanted it to, not because we did not see the high moves, but for a title defense and it to not have the big moments that we thought we would see. It was slow. You could tell that Jinder had not been in the ring in a while, but they both did great. Hopefully we can relive this and see it happen again, heading towards SummerSlam or whereabouts. But I think Jinder is going to have a lot of time to get better, get healthier, get more back into shape. So that's what we like to see happen for Jinder, and maybe we can move him up our list. Don't get me wrong, Jinder is a main event caliber, but I just think this match was undersold. With that, we have the Sami Zayn Seth Rollins match that was on an episode of Monday Night Raw as well. It was the first championship match to take place on Raw in 5 consecutive months. And it was a decent match. It was the main event of the evening. Sami Zayn's pulled out all the stops. These two worked together years and years ago, so they had to go deep in their bag. Rollins attempted a pedigree on the apron, which would have been huge. Sami was able to counter that and get the momentum throughout the match. And then, of course, Rollins did get hit with the pedigree, but Sami did kick out of that one. You did get to see an attempt of a stomp, which didn't happen. You seen a Haluna kick. There was a Blue Thunder bomb. This match was actually clean down the middle. It ended with Zayn's clinch and a Lion Tamer, and Rollins retained the championship with a quick roll-up. So it wasn't like a clear, defined stomp and done. This was more of a reversal into a pin. So for us, on our rating scale, it will actually be, I hate to say it, Sami's good, Rollins is great. I just don't think this match was what it needed to be, fortunately. Now, this leaves us with the 2 matches of Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship reign that were up there towards the top, but I don't want to say which one I think was best until we break everything down. So, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Money in the Bank 2023. This had been living up to expectations due to the simple fact that Finn Balor never lost the title due to an injury, and Seth Rollins basically stepped over and took reins and ran with it and has been the person he is now. We've seen Finn Balor attempt to win championships since he's came back. We've seen Finn Balor attempt several times to get momentum. He is the tag champion now at the time of making this video, but we haven't seen him live back up to that. And he blames Seth Rollins. So, he challenged Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. And Rollins and Balor were capable of producing much better matches, but I feel like this match didn't truly get out of first gear. Because throughout the most of the match, Rollins only had a few big moments, and Finn Balor targeted his ribs, which was injured weeks prior due to a match with Damian Priest, due to a match with Braun Breaker, and it just never truly healed. And then Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest actually interfered at this one because he was ringside. He had won Money in the Bank that night. People were looking for a cash in, and that's what distracted Finn from winning this match, in our opinion. But he did hit the coup de grace on the outside, and then he executed another one. And then that's when Damian Priest, yet again, distracted Finn Balor. And what happens when you get distracted when you're fighting Seth Rollins? You get hit with a stomp, a pedigree, a Falcon's arrow, a 1, 2, 3. And that's what happened. I don't feel as if this was the best match that they could have had. Like I said, it was stuck in first gear for a majority of the evening. So with that being said, this will be our final mid-match leading into this. Now, the last match Seth Rollins had competed in for the World Heavyweight Championship was against Finn Balor at SummerSlam. Now, this one had a little more heat under it because it's going off of the Money in the Bank incident. It's building up prior to 5-10 years ago due to the fact that this was the same place where Finn won the title and lost the title. He had basically, Finn Balor had separated his shoulder. And leading into his match, that's what he went off of. So he painted a 7, the word 7, on his right upper shoulder. And then Rollins entered the match in the same jacket and outfit that he wore in the Universal Championship match at Clash of Champions SummerSlam 2016. There was a huge past build-up between this. There was a buckle bomb on the Rollins on the outside. It was the exact same, the callback to what Seth done to him. There was another interference by Damian Priest due to the briefcase incident. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio also interfered, trying to just help out. And it didn't really do much due to that fact. So, and done what he had to do to try to win this match. We seen him hit a coup de grace, but Rollins kicked out. This match was 10 out of 10. This match did not disappoint. Rollins executed the stomp on Priest on the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then he ended the match with a pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Ending Finn Balor's hope at winning back the World Heavyweight Championship. So for that one, in all honest opinion, would be the number 1 Hall of Fame match of the World Heavyweight Championship run of Seth Rollins. Now, with that being said, you may think something completely different. You may think that there was other parts of this that could be done. There's other matches that we left off. Or the order is completely all over the place. If so, let us know in the comments what you would have ranked this. And as always, we appreciate you wrestling fans for hanging out with us. We're looking to the road to WrestleMania, seeing what Seth Rollins is able to produce from now till then. As always, we will see you in the next one.